So let's start. Today's presentation is about online job authorization, and with this presentation I wanted to say that you can do it, so everyone can do it. So that's the main idea that I want to get over. And maybe before I start with my presentation, I can tell for those who don't know who I am, my name is Aigars, and I am a software developer. So actually the one who was behind building this online job authorization. So that's why I'm doing this presentation about this feature, because I am the one behind the code. So all questions and blame to me then directly. And yeah, maybe my background. So I have been software developer already with Business Central for 10 years plus. So and also what I can tell you, maybe so we can relate more. It's I'm quite technical too. I like to do some car maintenance myself too. This summer I have even done with two of my cars that are my relatives have. I have changed timing belts too, so not only brake pads but some other stuff too. So yeah, I am not afraid to get my hands dirty too, and know some technical things too, and that it makes easier for me to work with Garage Hive with this solution, because I understand more what you are about. So and also in this presentation I will be touching a bit of not only the feature itself and configuration things in the system, but I will be touching business processes. And for me, I can tell you that whenever someone comes to me with some feature they want me to build or to change something in the feature, I always try to understand what's the use case, what's the business case behind it. I always try to ask why this is necessary, not only what needs to be doing, but why this is necessary. And that's why I try to understand all the business scenarios behind everything that I change, I build. So that's why I will be also talking about some business decisions or cases that the online job authorization is involved with. Okay, then I hope no one is bored yet. We can start. So oh, sorry, I will click this screen so I can change my slides. So today's agenda is first I will start with a quick demo just to show what is online job authorization, quickly how it looks with not great detail. Then I want to talk more about the idea behind it. So I was involved in all of the development, as I explained. So maybe for you it would be interesting to know, to understand what was the main things we wanted to put in this feature from the beginning, and we are continuing to follow those things with all the changes we do in between. So then I will try to talk about why should you consider doing it. So it's always the question, why do anything? So I will try to give some good points in that, and then if you will believe me that it is a good idea to consider doing it, then the next thing I will explain what is necessary to prepare for starting using it. So and we'll go over the process like in the garage for the service advisor, that actually how it works, how it looks, and some maybe best practices around it. So yeah, as I said about questions, so if it's something short and quick, we can do it in the middle, but I would encourage you to write it down maybe, and then let's have a discussion after my presentation, because if we start talking in the middle, then we might never finish. So yeah, it could be lots of things to discuss. Okay. then let's dive into it. The first thing for online job authorizations, what it starts with, I will show you the perfect scenario how to do it with as less as manual things you need to do. So this is this scenario, but it can be deviated left, right a bit when you actually do it. But this is the perfect scenario. So you would have a checklist. Checklist has some amber items in it, some red items in it. So something needs addressing now, something maybe later. So, and this is identified in the checklist. So as technician usually normally does the checklists. So that's the first step. And in this case, we can see there is near side front tire 1.8 millimeters, and there is offside rear tire thread depth low, so 3.8 millimeters. Maybe that's not yet that critical, but still it's already amber. So, and wheel alignment may be necessary. So this example shows that. So from this example, when using you would, from checklist, you would generate vehicle inspection estimate, and by just creating it, it would be empty. But we provide you with a nice feature called add checklist attention lines that specifically pulls out from the huge checklist you could have with multiple items, just those items that have problems in them, so that should be addressed and quoted up. So that's the button, and with all the perfect setup, I will go later into what it is. It can do a lot of things automatically for you. So it would generate those group items first. So wheel alignment, near side front, offside rear tire. So all of that, and it would put the code in it, advised or required, etc. There could be extended description added to it automatically, and already generates lines that are related to actually fixing those problems. So everything can be done with that one button click. Of course, if it uses service packages, and if it is not priced up, if it's not fixed price, then you need to actually price up those things that are variable items in them. Then you can have the total end price for the customer to present. So when you have this, then you by one button click. So this is the publish document request form. So as you can see, it publishes to the customer. You can do it with SMS or email or both, and you can customize those default texts that go out to the customer in the email, in the online document itself, or over the SMS, and you click OK, and what that does, that sends the user, actually the end customer gets this kind of SMS message. For example, this is SMS example, but of course it's email too. But so with the link, and when you click the link, it opens on the mobile phone. That would be the most the fastest way to get the answer and to get to the customer. So it's on the mobile, and then we have specifically made it so it's working good and looking good also on mobile phone number. So on mobile phone screen. Yeah, and then all those options that you have priced up in the estimate are shown here under required or advised or other categories, and user just selects what he wants and says next, accept, and that's it. You have the answer. So that's the idea of what online job authorization is. So also maybe for those who are not yet using online job authorization, I want to tell you that it is included in Garage Link subscription for everyone to try this out. So in the Essentials plan, there are 10 documents per month you can play with. You can use one document and, for example, just test it for yourself and send out multiple options how you would want it to be presented to the customer and see how it actually looks for you on your phone. and just play with it, and or actually try it with some customer you want to see how they react to it. So it's easy to do, and it's included in your subscription. So if you have the big package, then you have an unlimited amount of online job authorizations. You just can start using it right away. But I would encourage you to just play with it, try it after this presentation who haven't yet, and just see what happens and if you like it. So, okay. So this was the demo. Next thing in our agenda is I want just to go over a quick process of garage process in the garage on how to deal with additional work authorization. So just so we are on the same page. So first things still would need to be checklists, system or no system. So the car needs to be checked and faults need to be identified. So if we are talking about additional work that could come out of the visit. So next thing is you need to build up estimates. You need to calculate how much would it cost to actually amend all those faults that you've found and what you want to present to the customer. Then normally the customer wouldn't be there, and you would need to call the customer, and then all the conversation usually goes by phone. So that is a limitation, that you can only use words and no expressions, no anything. Just a conversation is a key how to get the customer to understand what you are explaining and to get them to see your point and agree to the things you are saying he's doing. So that's the phone conversation. That's an essential part of all of this. And at the end, of course, you want to get the customer authorization. So it's by the phone. So the customer then says yes to the first thing, last thing. Then again, there could be some misunderstandings in the conversation itself. If it's a big list, then you can misunderstand what he agrees actually to, and yeah, you need to be very clear then, because when he comes later, some other things can be done to the car that he actually thought he wasn't agreeing to. So then this is the risk of having the conversation. So in this case, if you see the opposite of like online job authorization, then he specifically says what he wants, and it's harder then to misunderstand what he actually agreed to. So yeah, just few obvious differences for both ways. Okay, then now looking at the process that garage usually deals with additional work, we all are on the same page. So next I want to tell you what we started with. So what was the idea behind online job authorization? What was our vision? Like so we first set like 3 major goals we wanted to achieve when we started thinking about what it is we want to do and to solve, to make this process better. I wouldn't say solve, but make it better to do this additional work authorization. And the first thing we said, it needs to be easy to understand for the end customer. So the car owner, when he gets something, it needs to be not a complex piece of software that he can click forward, back, and with lots of complex user experience things. We want it to be as easy as possible for the end user to understand what actually is shown to him and what he agrees to when he does something on it. So that was the first thing we said, that needs to be, when we do it, it needs to be easy to understand by the end customer, so there are no misunderstandings. And from what we have heard, there maybe are only few examples I have heard that someone misunderstood something over it, but that's maybe some kind of exception to the rule, I would say. Next, we wanted it to be easy to produce, to create. So thinking about service advisors, if you want to get the authorization of additional work, so checklists are done in the morning, the car is there, and while it's there, while you can still get the additional parts for the jobs you would get authorized, you want to quickly do this additional work authorization. So the second big goal was to actually make it quick to create. So as I explained, if you do the setup in the perfect way, it actually is few button clicks and you get the end result that you can already present to the customer. So that was the second goal we wanted to do. And of course, it can be improved upon with some scenarios that we haven't seen. But yeah, that's easy to do if it's done like that. I will explain later what it involves with the setup. And the third thing was that we wanted to achieve is we wanted to build to encourage transparency to the end customer, so garage and between garage and the end customer, and also for building trust between the garage and the car owner. So why it is important, because maybe I could say an example for put yourself in the customer's shoes and imagine that garage you have never been to, where you brought your car to do something you asked them to do, ring you up and over the phone say that it needs some additional work done, 500 pounds estimate, and you didn't ask anything that they would check anything more. You just asked what you wanted, and maybe for you it's everyday situation that you are on the sales advisor's end for it. But the idea from the customer point of view, it's you never been there, you don't trust them yet. So how would you react to that? My personal how I would do it, I would take it into consideration, say yes, do only the things I asked you to do, and I will check it myself somehow, because as I said, I like to get my hands dirty too. I would check it myself and then bring the car over second time if I believe it really needs doing. So what can be changed in this process? So I would say a picture tells 1,000 words. So if anyone would send me a picture of the fault, actually like a photograph of brake pad low or brake disc with deep grooves or lip or rusty or something, it actually is the only evidence I would need to say yes, change the brake pad. I don't want to deal with bringing the car twice to you. Just do that, and that picture over the phone, you can't do it. So, and this is a tool actually to bring the picture from the technician, from the car itself, to the car owner when he needs to do to make the decision. So yeah, sorry, lost my idea a bit, but so in this case, this additional I would say transparency, like showing actually the fault to the customer, brings additional trust from the customer to you as a garage, that what you are telling them is actually true, and they then after they have seen the picture, it's only a matter of convenience for them to agree to fix it in the same visit or later if it can't be done now, scheduled in later. But then it's a different conversation. You don't need to convince them that it needs doing. You just need to talk to them about when to do it, how to do it. That's it. So the conversation shifts different way. And yeah, so just this transparency thing, I wanted to explain that it's very important for new customers, and also talking at the blend at the conference, I was talking to garages, and they actually said they started sending it for new customers, and it's great. But they actually start because it's a standard process for them now to send it for everyone. They did it also for existing customers that have trust already and multiple years been servicing their car with them, and they send those online job authorizations to them too. And then they just saw the value in receiving this additional confirmation that they have been trusting the garage, and actually yes, they now can see that everything goes together. So the fault is there, and it needs doing, and just additional positive reaction from the end customer that yeah, I love it. So that's what they said to me. That so yeah, so this transparency is also important, not only for new customers that don't know you yet, but also for the ones that you have been working with for a while. Okay. So I hope this transparency and trust between the garage and the customer is a thing you value, and that's what we tried to improve upon. So this is the first big why online job authorization is a good idea to look into, to start using, to implement in your everyday processes. So the next big benefit I actually took from Mr. John Batten's presentation, not this year, but the year before. I hope you all know who Mr. John Batten is. So and he's doing business consultations, and I was in his presentation too at the last, not this blend this year, but the year before, and I was I believed what he said, and the idea was that how important it is to have higher average invoice value, and that is the end goal. But starting with actually working on less cars. So and if you so working on less cars, but having more work done to those cars. So and of course his presentation was for an hour, and I can't explain all of the details in it, but the main idea is that you not only do the things that the customer asks you to do, but you look at the car in general, and at the end, when you finish with it, when you fix all of the things and make the car in the best possible way going out of your garage, so the winners are you, because you have done more on the same car, and the winner is also the customer by getting the car out in a better shape for him to use in every day. So that's what I understood from it. So and also, if you deal with less cars, it's less admin time on the cars. So if you just think about everyday process, bringing in the car, talking with the customer, understanding what he wants, ordering the parts, getting the parts, so all of that for 5 cars or for 10 cars. So and all of that admin time isn't, of course, in the invoice at the end. So having 5 cars to deal with is better because it's less uninvoiceable time. So so I will also talk about this in a different angle later, but it's not just me saying that online job authorization is great. We before this presentation, we asked the users who already use it for a while, and we got some great feedback and maybe a good insight for you too. So this is from Neil Fitch from Fitch Autos. Maybe some of you know him, and he said that he actually puts on the estimates 230 pounds more of things. So actually, when you call, you wouldn't say that much, but he adds things there more for on average 230 pounds more, and when the customer gets the customer authorization on the online job authorizations, he gets on average 70 pounds more per estimate out of the job. So he just compared jobs that he authorized over phone and on the online authorization. So and the difference is he's not afraid to put more on the estimate, so the customer can always not just choose it, but let's give him the choice to not choose it or to choose it. And usually statistically, it is more, the customer actually chooses more than you would think he would. So by telling it over the phone, or it's just the trust thing. So it could be multiple reasons for it, but this is just statistics. So yeah. Next angle to look at it would be that is from Alex Linley from Linley's Auto Centers. That his business, he pointed out that it improves the customer journey, and transparency will generate the trust, as we already, he was involved in the design, so that's the thing he also aims for. And he pointed out that it caters for younger customers that actually like to avoid the phone calls when it's not maybe convenient for them to get the incoming call. So it's actually better to send them and to let them deal with it on their own time. Of course, it's sooner, not later for you, but still, it's they can do it in 5 minutes later. So it's not right away. So it's not that urgent, maybe. Yeah. Okay, then I hope these the reasons I tried to point out in my previous slides have convinced you that online job authorization is a thing you would want to look at and try to use it for you. And so if yes, then let's talk more about what you actually need to do to start using the feature. So in the again, in the best possible way it can be used as we designed it. So the first thing that I already said, the checklist needs to be done. So before you can talk about additional work the car needs, you actually need to check not only the things that the customer asked you to, but to reserve the time. And of course, it's again time that you can't invoice, but it's something you set as a policy. You say, let's check all of the cars for all of the things it could be, like a standard checklist you would do on the cars. So that's the first thing that needs to be done and changed in the business if it's not yet there. If you are just looking at the things that customer asked you to, then this is a major change, I would say, in the mindset of thinking that I always, for all of the cars, have the time. So first I leave some time in the diary for this checklist being done, and also I do it because I know that usually something comes out of it. So that's the first thing you actually need to do, so you can start doing online job authorizations, because it's additional work. If you don't know about it, then you can't estimate and ask anything from the customer. So this is the basics, yeah, the first thing. So and it already, I know from talking to the garages at the beginning, it might sound a big task to actually achieve. So to have this, to do this, and just ask in the community, other garages, if you don't believe that this is a good idea to do, then ask other garages what they think about it. So business owners could explain it in a lot more detail, and it would make sense more. But it's just a good idea to check all of the cars. Yeah. Okay, then that's the first like obstacle or first thing to overcome to start using. Of course, you might already do it, and then it's yeah, all good. The next thing is that actually the what John Batten's thing. So less is more, and this is another way of looking at it, and what it means, you actually need to leave on the diary time free for all of for technicians to deal with the additional work that will be authorized. So in the checklist, you will look for it, you will find it, you will ask the customer if he wants to do it, and it makes sense to do it in the same visit. if you have all day booked in already, like 90%, 100% booked in, you can't deal with the additional work. Then you don't even try to look for it in the first place. But it needs to shift then to actually utilize this idea of not like being like in a vicious cycle of bringing the cars in out all day, but actually bringing them in, checking them, estimating it, getting the actual confirmation, getting the parts in, and then doing all of the jobs additionally needs doing to the car in the same day. So in the same visit, it's the best way for the customer and best way for you, because you don't need to have, as I said, the additional admin things you do when you get the car in and out. So what would I say if working at the examples of this less is more is actually leaving half of the technician's time free in the day. So you only book 50% of the total capacity technicians can do, and by utilizing all of this, it actually fills up the second half of it. As I said, you are not dealing with 10 cars, but you are dealing then with 5 cars, because only half of the cars can be booked in. You are not allowing them to be booked more, and then the 5 cars get twice as more work done on them. Yeah. So this is like to overcome this fear of leaving free time on the schedule. It's hard thing to do, because you need to believe that you will be able to fill it in later, and just like knowingly losing the money, like not scheduling in if the customer even asks you, I want to do it, and you see you can do it, but you are saying no, we can do it only after a week because we have 50% already booked for this week. So this is something counterintuitive, but actually here is a good example. This is our Power BI report. So numbers shows it the best. I tried to get as many examples and precise examples from garages as I could for this feature, how it works and if it works. And this is one of our customers who allowed this data to be shown here in this presentation. And if you look at the jobs column, over the years, they do less jobs, so less cars are worked on. In this case, it's almost half from 562, it is reduced to 333. So almost by half in 5 years it was reduced. So it's actually for this customer, it's a long time journey to get there, but they got there. And where is it? So if we look at the gross profit, the total of profit, then we can see that actually working on half of the cars is more profit, and it's less stress, less other things that go away because there are less cars. And as we can see also, it's the average invoice profit also grows all the time, because you work on more job, you do more work on the same car. So by additionally authorizing the additional things it needs to do. So this is a good example that it can work if you the things that I've been saying to you. So less jobs can be more profit. Okay. Also, one very important thing that I wanted to talk about is the mindset of service advisor to actually have the confidence and believe in everything that is being presented to the customer. So in this case, there could be, for example, for me personally, again example, brake fluid change. So I haven't been doing it for my cars, and I haven't seen any reason to do it. And for me personally, to try to sell it to the customer, it would be a nightmare. The first why I should do it would just be an obstacle for me to explain. Yeah, I actually don't believe you need it. Then let's not do it. But actually, there is a reason. I have already talked to people that why this is a good idea, especially if you're not living in a flat country like Latvia, but if it's mountains and you can overheat the brakes, etc. But it's actually what I wanted to point out, that actually service advisor needs to believe to the things that technician says the car needs doing. So it's the mindset of service advisor that needs to be as a whole in the company together with what technicians say needs doing, what service advisors present to the customer, and even something maybe can be stopped. Technician says it needs doing, but service advisor doesn't believe it and doesn't quote it up, and then it stops there. But the customer believes it and would say yes to it, and then it was in the middle, stopped. So this the whole thing needs to be work together as a clock. So if something needs doing, then technician says it, and service advisor knows why and presents to the customer. And if the customer asks why, then there are clear answers of why. Okay, so we have actually gone over as I said, some of the business decisions, and also this service advisor thing is more training thing to do. But next I want to show and explain what actually needs doing in the system to get online job authorization working. So in this case, the first thing you would start with is service packages. So there can be a lot of things wrong with the car, but usually you can categorize them, and usually the fixes are similar. So change brake pads, change brake discs, change both, change tire, change clutch, change timing belt. So everything can be categorized, can be and even it could be priced up as a fixed price for specific cars, for specific things. So you wouldn't even need to bother doing the estimate for it, because it already would be fixed price service package that you have in your system. So the first thing for it to be as streamlined as possible, to take as less time to produce the online job authorization as possible, is to build service packages. And they need to have so what needs to be in them, and also they need to include the sales pitch. So the sales pitch, I call it, so it's the description you present to the customer why he would need doing this thing. So for brake fluid, then there is an explanation about statistics, how often do these faults occur, etc. So okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is you need to define technician checklist text templates. So if a technician finds a fault in the checklist, he doesn't write it on his own like words. He chooses from a text template a specific problem explaining the actual fault. And what it gives you, it gives you the ability to attach to that problem service package. So you say it's, for example, brake pads are worn, so the service package is change brake pads. So you already, technician, by saying what's at fault, already says what needs doing. So service advisor just clicks yes. So and adds the service package in the estimate. In this case, there is another great quote about the descriptions. So if you use service packages and groups, you can standardize the text sent to your customer, but certain jobs to make for certain jobs, to make sure they understand, the customer understands why the jobs need doing, and actually that helps you not to get some information lost in the translation. So this is again Neil Fitch from Fitch Autos saying this, and his experience, he says these descriptions, if you standardize them for the customer, it helps. Okay, then if you do all of this, then it's easy, as I showed you in the first demo. So you just click a few buttons and you have the online job authorization. So what actually happens when you start using it? So first thing you need to do is that you always need to check if you have contact details. That's normal thing you do, but so the main maybe difference would be if you have the mobile phone number, because we know that for online job authorizations you want the answer to be quick, and actually by sending SMS out makes more sense, because Alex said to me statistics about how quick they usually open. So it's like few seconds people pick up on SMSs. They right away see that it's there. They see what it is. If they have the time to deal with it now, they can just open the link and do the online job authorization. So it's just instantaneous almost. So the SMS, that's why is better, and that's why you want to have the mobile phone number. And the next what you want to do in the morning before the customer leaves, you want to you may want to say to them that you have a policy of checking the general vehicle condition, and you might even not say that, but you might want to tell them that there could be some kind of report or a message later that day before the car actually will be started worked at, about something they might want to know. So this is a good idea, because in these times you could get some false messages or some scam or some virus link or something like that over the phone, and people are just afraid to click that. If you just warn them that you will be sending something, they will be more keen to just opening it when they receive it. So that's a good idea to just explain what will happen next. And if all the setup is done, so there are just 6 steps to send the online job authorizations. So do the checklist, add checklist lines to VIE, then price up the items that already are not fixed price. Then you can preview yourself how it would look for the customer when you send it out. So when you publish it, there is an option, internal preview. So you open it for yourself and check if everything you intended to be there is there and in the way you want it. So just confirmation for you. Then you publish it online and send the link to the customer over the SMS in best way. Then wait for the authorization. So of course the wait is something, you know how long you can wait for them to pick it up. So if you can't, then it's next slide. So when it's sent out, so it can be authorized. So you just receive back a message in the system that customer authorized this and this is not authorized, for example. So you just get that message. Then what could be there, that customer hasn't authorized, but we made it so you can see if he has opened it, or maybe he clicked a button in the online authorization form that he wants a callback. So he wants to talk about something in the list he saw, and he has questions about it. He says, call me back, please. Or you see he opened it, but he didn't authorize, and that means he might have some questions, and he didn't give the answer yes or no or anything. So you can then, if you wait the time you want, you can just call them back and talk to them through it. And this conversation would be different, because if they opened it, they already have seen all the pictures, the evidence that the problem is there, and again you just maybe technically explain about how important is it, and it's just conversation, do this or that, or this can be done maybe a bit later, and just logistics of it. So, and the third option could be that the customer hasn't authorized and he even didn't open it. So okay, you still price it up, you know all the estimates, you have data for you to call the customer, so it will be would still be the call, and you would call the customer and just go over the things over the phone, or just call him and ask if they want to look at it now, or go over in the phone call of the problems you sent. So multiple options how to deal with it. Okay. Then actually compiling my presentation, I found I wanted to point out a few findings in it. So first thing is that actually less jobs can be more profit. So just keep that in mind and try to think about it and ask questions how, and in the community people will just, I think, explain this in more detail. So this is the first big thing. I don't want you to forget that actually this works. This can work. And next thing is that SMS is better because it's quicker, and you want quick reaction to this this kind of message. So the confirmation should come as soon as possible. And I also want to say that this online job authorization doesn't replace the talk to the customer, the call to the customer. It helps the journey. It is additional way to communicate that you couldn't do before over the phone. So it's you can actually do it in a different way. You can call them, you can say them, we found few things and we will send you a link right now, please look at it. The other way around, you first inform them that something will be coming, then you send it. And it's additional way just for them to look at list of things. And if it's, for example, long estimate with 10 items over the phone, when you are finished with the list, they even don't remember what was the first item on it. It's harder to talk about the list if it's a conversation. So it's an additional tool to help you with the customer journey. Yeah, and we already identified some improvements that we want to do. So one thing that people have said that if the customer already approved the online job authorizations, currently we say that thank you, approval is there, and that's it. But people are saying that it would be great if the customer actually would see after he approved already what was approved. So it helps sometimes to just have this conversation. So we plan on doing that. So we haven't, after the blend, yet got to this point, but it's on our list, yeah, to-do list. Next thing, when you would receive back the message notification that online authorization is done, so customer said yes, no, so there was an answer, you would receive it would light up on the attention tile, and sometimes you are working on other things and you don't notice it soonest way you want. And we thought that maybe we would add some kind of setup, so you can say if it wasn't looked at in 5 minutes after the approval, or 10 minutes or 15 minutes, then it sends out an email and just additional outside notification, or to some other person who can maybe help you look at it during that moment, and it can be just picked up quicker. So a way not to like send email for everything, but just if it is being missed in a for example time frame you would want. So this is the second change, and then also some people were concerned, garages were concerned about the loss of personal touch. So the customer receives a message and please confirm, and that's it. So and maybe we thought that it could be a good way just to show who you are dealing with. So who sent you the message, a picture of a service advisor, just nice company pictures, everyone in the line, and it's yeah, it's just a nice way to when the customer comes and picks up the car, or when he left it, he knows it's the same person. So it's that. So and also actually after my blends presentation, one of the garages came up to me, EcoTest, and explained one problem that was there. So by default, we open the red category, so the critical problems we opened as an open list, and the amber problems need to be clicked on, and then they open and show what's in. And sometimes actually that's the easy to understand problem that actually was in the user interface, and people actually didn't understand that you need to click that amber thing and see the list inside, and then they just saw and approved only the critical problems. Now what we changed is that we added we added so all of the items except the green ones. So if you present online job authorization, it also shows you the things that are good with your car. So you're not like thinking that you need to just throw it away. So only the green ones are closed. You can open it, and if you want to see what's inside, but everything that actually needs looking at is right there and open, like in a list. So this is critical problems. You go over them. Then there are things you want to look at now, maybe, or do later. So you go over them, and then maybe there are additional items you do, and all of that is open and right there right away. So that is a change we already did. Yeah. So this feature grows and improves, and so this is the end of presentation. So at the end, I just want you to I hope you you got there and you can overcome the fear or anxiety of using something new. And this is a picture of me on Via Ferrata Bridge in Swiss Alps. So just have the confidence and make the first step on the bridge, and don't be afraid of falling down. So yeah, it was like 500 meters down under it. So yeah, crazy experience. Yeah. Okay, then thank you from my side. It's everything I wanted to tell to you, and maybe you already have a list of questions, and we need to reserve one more hour to go through them. Okay, on the chat I see whose checklist packages was that? Can they share them? In the community, if you will ask, people will definitely show it, and I think I did it from some kind of demo database. I took them out, so, and it's just yeah. So I think you can. That's why the community is great. People exchange with ideas and with experiences, and also the sales pitch, the text you present to the customer. That's also very important. What works, what's not working. So I think you can ask that too. For example, if it's a brake fluid, then what do you say? So if then you can experiment with the text yourself, adjust it, and see if it works. Okay, online job authorization set up. Once online job authorization is set up, do I always have to use it, or can I still do it the old-fashioned way? Oh, yeah. I know from experience. After not this blend but last year, I was standing one day behind. At Lindley's Auto Centers, Alex's sisters, and just shadowing them. They are service advisors, and I was just looking what they're doing, and they actually said, yeah, we just gauge if the person is not tech savvy or senior or something. They just are not telling them that they will send any messages and not sending them in afterwards. So yeah, they actually pick who will they send it to, but in most cases they try to do it for all. But if they have doubts, then they just skip it and just have a call the normal way. As I said, it doesn't replace the call, it helps you. Yeah, so you can choose not to send it and do it the old way, but still you would have a good estimate and a good list to go over by. Is there a way to have a tile turned red when the customer has opened it? Technically, it's possible, yeah. But when he's opened it, it actually doesn't isn't that important at that moment. You can, if you want, you can open the VI estimate, and in the statuses you can see that this specific VI's estimate online job authorization was opened and wasn't yet confirmed. But actually, when you care for it, it's the last possible moment when you want to address the additional work. So at that point, it is important that you just check they opened it, didn't open, then you call back. So I think maybe you can explain more business case, use case when it would be important to know when they opened, because you just want to know when you call back if they opened. Yeah. Okay, once authorization is given by the customer, how are we in the office notified? Does it appear on the home screen on the tile? Yes, it appears on the attention tile. And as I said, we plan on also sending an email if the attention tile is not reviewed in a timely fashion. So something like that. Yeah, but it's the attention tile. Can we have a running total so it knows the job value and then it increases when the different items are authorized? Yeah, when you are on the VI estimate and you send out the, if I did understand the question correctly, so when you're on VIE and you send out the additional work that you want to get confirmed, it includes the things that are with the linked job sheet. So if the car is in for diagnostics and it already was 70 pounds, the customer will see that 70 pounds already is pre-selected. He already approved it when he asked for the diagnostics. So that's the first thing, and then he has everything on top of it. So actually it has everything from job sheet that is already pre-selected and additional things in the VIE. Yeah. Does online job auth need to be set up to send link for Google review? Currently, it is not related to reviews. So Google reviews are only thing when we deal with this surveys. So if the survey would be positive, then you would want to ask for the Google review. But I don't know, maybe it would be some kind of like a link down below, like you have Twitter, Facebook, some socials or something that maybe you could have a link, leave a review or something like that. But yeah, in this case, there is no Google review link in the online job authorization. Is there a way to unshade the image to the customer? See the rusty disk image related to the auth item one. Yeah. So technically, maybe I can now remove the slides and I can show you an example here on desktop. For example, images are here at the bottom in gallery. You have all the images. For example, this is just a test example I was playing with, so the images don't make much sense, but the idea is that here you have the item and you have images attached right to it, and here you have all of the images. And if you click on them, you can see what the image is about, so tire profile image. So yeah, the images are there. So if you go over items one by one, you see that this wheel alignment didn't have an image, okay, but this had an image. This is how much thread depth is left. So linked with our tire scanner feature, yeah. Okay. So and the images so the images when the technician does the images on the checklist, he does it on a line. He can do it on a line, and if he does it on a line that is an attention line, then when you generate these group items that are presented to the customer here, wheel alignment, near side front, offside front, actually it links this as a media to that specific line. So that's how it knows, without any manual work, what the image is about, which line in the estimate. So yeah, if you search in the community, you might find. This is Kitty, yeah. Once, I don't know. Slightly different question. Is there a way of importing any failed MOT items without typing everything? Yeah, actually, in my presentation, there was in one moment visible. There is one more button called Add MOT Attention Lines, so you can use that. So if there were faults any in the MOT, let's click it. Let's see what it brings up. You can see the MOT list. You can choose the last one, and then if there were any faults in it, it will display them here as group items. So yeah, it is possible. Kitty is adding external review. Kitty is doing documentation links. Okay, once the customer has authorized the work on the line and we start to carry the work, say bolt breaks, can the VA be modified to show the broken bolt and be resent? Yes, so you, for example, have the VIE. Some of the things in the VIE are authorized. You bring them to the copy authorized lines to the job sheet, so they are copied there. So the ones that are authorized, the other ones are not. And what it does, it leaves the VIE in this state, and you can add some more group items to it with lines to it and send it out again. It's doable. Yeah, you can send it out and it will show everything that you have in the job sheet already. Not duplicated, because it's now will exist in VIE and in job sheet, but it will show it in one only one version of it that it's in the job sheet, and the additional work that previously he didn't approve, plus the new thing you wanted to ask. So, and also you can send it from the job sheet too if you want. So yeah. It's this publish feature for online document. It's on the estimates, on job sheets, and on VIEs. So yeah. Bolt breaks, yeah. The emotive feature is awesome. Yeah. Oh, Alex, hi. Okay. Okay. I have. Do you have any more questions? Maybe you want to ask. How was it? Who says he wants to try it? So, was it convincing? Who has not yet tried it, and after this will try it. So just I know that it was worth it. So
I think you should be able to unmute yourselves, but I'm not sure.
Good to see that. Yeah, that Amy says that she will look into using it. Yeah, good. And you can just try the feel for it just by creating playing with it in a VIE and sending it to yourself without any of the additional setup if you don't have the packages, the technician texts, comments, and everything. But yeah, when you will just start using, you will just see how much easier it makes everyday operations by once doing the setup. So yeah, it makes life easier. You mentioned service packages attached. Can they be linked to the lookup repair time feature? Lookup repair time. So it's from the auto data service packages. I don't know, yeah, how would it work and how to link it together. But maybe you can explain in more detail what benefit would be there. So repair times already bring you labors and items in, so it's actually like a service package when you bring it in the job sheet, and it also creates a group item. It's very similar to service packages, how auto data repair times populate the documents. So
hi guys.
Yep.
So you mentioned that you could have a service package attached to your text template.
Yeah.
But obviously that service package won't necessarily give you the correct time for the job. So the problem is you then bring in a service package automatically, and then you have to go into
and update the times.
And then change the times. And I think that's why they're falling down sometimes because.
Okay. Yeah. Understood the idea. So actually having like a default service package is blank times, but additionally using auto data feature to somehow link together the repair times of this thing that needs doing to the lines that you would have in the document. Yeah, that's even more automation. Yeah, I will look into this. I will ask other guys what they think. It could be to do with more setup. Like you still would need to choose what is what, but it's I know that the list that Autodate provides is just a list of work to do. So I don't know. You would still need to choose what it is, because Autodata for all of the cars can bring different text description of it, and you still need to choose that. And for example, and it could then update the lines, the group you are on, or something like that. So it still would involve some manual things, but we could make it work better together. So yeah. Okay, I will write it down. So updating group items, the item lines from auto date repair times. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Maybe there is a way to make it. Yeah. I wouldn't want it to be harder than it is already. So that's why we need to just check. Yeah. Okay. Hold the customer on the phone. Well, especially when finding it. Yeah, difficult to get hold of customers on the phone while at work. Yeah. Actually, yeah, you are calling them, they can't answer. They are calling back, you can't. You are busy. So it actually, yeah, having to deal with the online job authorization on their own time, it makes sense then in this case too. I would like to integrate the feature, but my boss thinks it gives customers too many options to refuse the work. To refuse the work. Too many options to refuse the work. Yeah, well, actually, talking to the garages at the blend, actually giving them the options is a good thing. They thought. They said usually the service advisor can, for example, make choice for the customer and then not present him with a choice. Like remove it from the list and not tell the customer that it needs doing, like thinking that he will probably not approve it, or I wouldn't do it, for example, as I said with the brake fluid change. But actually by sending out everything is just it's just a list. You go over it, you say yes, no, that's it. So I think, yeah. Well, this presentation will be later. It is recorded and will be in YouTube. So maybe send your boss the link so he can also look into this. So maybe it's possible to convince him to try. It's always a good idea to try something. You can always not do it if it doesn't work for you, or not the right moment for it. Yeah. 100% we want and need to do this. I'm guessing that first step is to get in touch with Garage Hive headquarters. Well, yeah. Well, as I said, so there is some setup involved. There are some business decisions involved. So there could be multiple first steps that need to be done with this. But yeah. It's just talk with our guys and they will help you out and just understand in what point in the journey you are in and what's next for you to do. Yeah, because you could be already using lots of the features, just the end of it is missing, like starting using the online job authorization itself. Yeah. Okay. Passive customer. What's that? That's the one who like doesn't agree and has his own opinion. Yeah. Mm. Okay.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you guys for coming.
I see that
Someone's typing. Yeah.
He's typing. Yeah. I have all day. Yeah, I can answer questions all day. It's good. Hey, it's great to hear that you like the presentation. Yeah, thank you for the great feedback. Yeah, and yeah, for me it's just important so you see the value in it, and I want to encourage you to try. And yeah, as I said, so this presentation is not about specifics and details on the setup. The first thing I wanted to point out to show is that it actually is the business case behind it. So also then the policy maker in the company needs to be aware of starting, for example, leaving half of the day free in the diary and doing the checklist for all of the cars. So that's a business decision that needs to be done, and service advisors can't do it only by themselves, and also service advisors need to be involved in creating the service packages and then the customer sales sales pitches, the descriptions to present to the customer, so they believe themselves in them. So it's lots of people working together. Yeah. Andy says that online authorization goes hand in hand with better quality diagnostics information. Yeah, I agree. So as in this example, it was the tire scan, and that populated the checklist and then sends right away the images and everything to the online job authorization to the customer. Yeah. So of course, presentation is recorded, and yeah, you can rewatch it, and additional questions, to the team or in the community. As I said, lots of our customers, garages already use this feature and are deep into it, and we are improving upon. So just shout out, and yeah, community, as you know, our community is very helpful, and someone will help you. And also with those service packages and technician text, so I think there already was like a wave of inquiries about it, and people exchanging with them, one with another one. So you can just get a good practice from them. But again, as I said, if the sales pitch is built by someone else, service advisor needs to believe in it, to understand it fully, to be able to talk about it when the customer has questions. So yeah, don't always take it as it is, just filter it through your eyes. Yeah. Okay, Kitty, what do you think? So
I think that's it.
Yeah,
we can finish it. And yeah, I'll send the recording to your emails, whoever registered for this webinar, and also publish it on the Facebook community. Okay, thank you for coming.
Yeah,
and
thank you all.
Happy holidays if we don't see you afterwards.
Yeah, happy holidays.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.